I remember sitting in my kitchen, just stuffing my face. I was having pizzas, like Belgian buns, just everything I could get my hands on. I was dirty, but I was trying to get big. And I thought this was a way to do it. I thought this was a way I could get in good shape. I could get to my dream physique. The problem was that never happened. I ended up at 95 kg looking awful. But I did get in good shape eventually. I got in the best shape I've ever been in. I got like compliments from guys, girls, everyone I speak to just telling me how good shape I'm in. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why Dirty Bolton didn't do that for me and what actually did it for me. But it was late at night. It was probably 8, 9. I finished school for the day. I came to the gym and I was biking home. On the way home, I stop at Tesco's and I buy like a pack of bagels, jam. Like I had my Bolton recipe. It was bagels with cheese, jam, just to get the calories in. So I bike home. I've got my bagels and whatnot, and I'm eating them all. I'm sitting in my kitchen just eating as much as I could. I'm not really feeling that hungry. So I had dinner like 5 minutes before, but now I'm eating all these bagels, trying to get 100% calories in. I was eating about 3,300, 3,400 calories at the time, which doesn't sound like too much, but I was a skinny guy. I wasn't in good shape. I wasn't very big. So eating that much felt impossible, and it was so hard. I remember like trying to cram another bite into my mouth while I just couldn't. As my cheeks felt so stuffed. I felt like I had so much food, more food than I could ever have. I was Dirty Bolton every day. I was eating just any foods I could. Cookie doughs, Belgian buns, cakes, pizzas. And I was stopping being that skinny guy. I was gaining muscle. I remember when I started the gym, my bench, maybe it was 60 kg, maybe, I don't know what it was, but it was probably about 50 kg, 2 10s on each side, which is quite good for a beginner. It was very good actually. But it was starting to fly. I was starting to go 50, 55, 60, 70, and I was like moving up and up, and it weren't plateauing, it weren't stopping. I just kept going up. So obviously, it was the Dirty Bulk was working. So why not do it more? Why not eat more calories, up the amount of calories I was eating? Just keep going and going and going. And it got to a point where I benched 100 kg. I remember I was sitting there in the gym one day and I just benched it, and I was so gassed with myself. I was so happy. I've been going for this goal. I've been bulking all this time. Like, Dirty Bolton is clearly the way. It's what was working for me. I remember being in the gym, asking for a spotter one day, and like after he spotted me, he asked for my age and stuff, and I told him I was 16 at the time. And how impressed he was. He was like, wow, you're in sick shape. You're doing proper well for 16 years old. Just keep going. And I was getting all these compliments. I was getting validation. I never got this as a skinny, out-of-shape guy. But now, I felt like I had my aura. I felt like I had my place. I was banging the gym and I was getting in really good shape. And it just felt amazing. Then I remember one day, I was in the gym and I just finished the session. And I always, after I finished the session, just took myself, stood in the mirror to just see like the progress I made. Like, you don't see it on the day, but I used to do it to see if I had made any progress. And at this time, I was benching 110, 115. I was about 95 kg. I was a lot heavier and I was a lot bigger. I remember looking in the mirror and just not feeling good anymore. Not feeling like that guy that got the compliments that was doing really well for his age. Instead, I just felt heavy. I just felt sluggish as I looked in the mirror, and I just didn't like how I looked. I felt like my cheeks were chubby, like I had spots on my face. I felt very like low energy, very like nonchalant sort of thing. Like I couldn't get hyper, I shouldn't get energized, and I'd have to have pre-workout to have a workout with it. I just didn't feel good. And looking in that mirror, I just saw like, I just felt fat. I felt like I had a belly, and I felt such like shame, guilt, such like, I didn't feel like I had self-respect for myself anymore. My confidence went back to that skinny guy where I didn't feel good. I didn't feel happy with how I looked. So I'm looking in the mirror and I'm just not liking it at all. I'm just thinking, what's going on? Why aren't I more muscular? I've been bulking more. I'm getting stronger on the bench, but I don't look like right. I've been having whatever I wanted to eat. I'd have like protein yogurts. I'd have Belgian buns, cookie dough, just anything and everything. I'd eat as much as I physically could, because every day was a bulk day, and I was trying to just get big, just to get as big as I can. And there was a point where it's like, it wasn't enjoyable at all. Nothing was like even eating the Belgian buns and the cookies, it didn't feel nice. They may have tasted nice, but my body didn't like it and it didn't feel nice. I didn't have any energy. I felt like I had mood swings. I felt always grumpy. And I always remember this moment. It was like the day before New Year's Eve, and it was dark outside. It was late at night, and I've been watching like a David Goggins podcast or something. I just had the motivation. I was like, every day this year I'm gonna run. I'm gonna get in really good shape. I'm gonna like become the man, become him. So I go out for my first run. It's a short run. I run to Tesco's, and as I'm running there, I'm feeling slower. I'm feeling like more sluggish, but I expected that. But by the time I'm on the way back, I feel so slow now. Like, like I'm running, and just my legs are dead. I'm sweating. I'm panting. I'm out of breath. Yeah, I don't feel good at all anymore. I don't feel athletic at all. I just feel like dead, just tired. I don't know how to explain it, but on that run, when I was sweating and I was tired, I had like this innate feeling inside, this just like gut feeling of it was my diet that was messing me up. It was just not eating the right foods that left me to this point here where I just couldn't run for a mile. I was just struggling so much. So it takes time, but I decide to change it. I sit on my laptop, I sit here and I just learn about it so much. I learn like about processed foods, ultra processed foods, the seed oils, everything. I try to educate myself as much as possible on like what it is. I realised like the whole concept of Dirty Bolton and how I did Dirty Bolton, where I ate just any and every food to like gain the weight and gain the muscle, was a silly concept. And it did work. It got me from like 70 or even less than 70 to 95. Like it gave me the weight, but it wasn't how I expected it. It wasn't how I imagined it. So I thought, like I watched fitness influencers talk about Dirty Body, and I thought I'd just get in shape like this. I'd just gain muscle without like fat, without just have abs. But it didn't work like that. It didn't work at all like that. So I'm here and I'm realizing this Dirty Bolton, it's just not working. It's not working how I wanted it to work, how I wanted to get in shape. Instead, I hear Eddie Abu, and he talks about healthy foods. He talks about whole foods, the foods that you'd imagine Cristiano Ronaldo would eat. And it all makes sense to me. Like, why would eating cakes and eating burgers get you muscle? But instead, eating a steak or eating a chicken, eating eggs would get you in sick shape. So I start to transition from this Dirty Bolton, eating all these, eating everything, to trying to only eat whole foods, only eat healthy foods. And I'll eat them as much as I can until I'm like full to gain the muscle. And it took me time to do this, as it's hard to cut out like all the processed foods, the cakes, the burgers, all that, and just eat whole foods. But the more I ate whole foods, the more I ate the better foods, the better in shape I got. I started to slowly lean down. I started to get leaner until I was eating whole foods most days of the week, until I was being consistent with it. And that's when I was proper lean. That's when I was shredded, and that's when I started to build real muscle. But still, with this, you could argue that Dirty Bolton did work for me, because it took me to a massive. It made me gain loads of weight and get bigger, and then I could cut down. But it wasn't nice. Instead, if I was a skinny guy now and I had a different way to do it, how I would do it is I would bulk still. I'd obviously still eat as much as I could, but of the whole foods, of the like eggs, of the steak, of the vegetables, of the fruit. If you're just eating the main foods and just bulking as much as you can with those, you're going to gain lean muscle. So you're not going to gain any of the excess fat or any weight that's not muscle. You're just going to gain the muscle, and you're going to be more shredded than before. So you're going to be able to stay lean, but also have muscle. As you will gain a little bit of fat, but not loads, not like the amount you do when you dirty bulk. So I'd lean bulk, and I'd just eat whole foods, eat healthy foods, focus on the quality of food. That's all. So please like and subscribe now. I'll see you in the next video.